Hello and welcome to another episode of Post Laws and More. Today we're visiting Coenraad van Niekerk of Avalonia Stud, and he's going to tell us about his Boerhond project. Come with us as we discover what drives him.
Hello, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Welcome at my valley.
Yeah. What do you call this place?
This is Avalonia Stud.
Avalonia Stud.
Yes, yes.
It's a beautiful place. When I saw it while I was driving here.
It's a little hidden gem here in Tarlton where it's cold.
The Tarlton is cold, guys. Yeah.
And what we're doing here is we're trying to recreate the old SIBT breed standard type Boerboel.
Okay.
We call our dogs African Boerhonds, and we are proudly member of the Southern African Boerhond Breed Association.
Oh, okay.
Which stands for just that, recreating the SIBT original breed standard type of dog.
Okay. Tell us about Avalonia.
Okay. I started in '98 with a pet shop Boerboel that turned out to be a Boerboel Rottweiler cross. But the dog tickled my fancy so much that I went to, in the first show, I investigated the Boerboel and found about the shows and stuff, and I went to an appraisal. It was somewhere in Roodepoort, and I bought my first dog, was for Trixie. She was a Topper Cross Gretchen bloodline dogs. And being so interested in the breed, I have really pushed my friendships at shows and started to know the people. And the guys that really tickled me was the Moser Boerboel, which was the purebred Eysterberg dogs coming from Klaas van Walfren. Moser took over from the founder of the breed, Klaas van Walfren, which started in the 1940s. So his males really tickled me. They were superb, good, this type of dogs that you see here. And so I took my Trixie for the first mating to Dopper Hitler, which was Reverend Base's dog. And then from there, he was 75 centimeters. Those puppies we put on the Eysterberg males, and it was jackpot. We created a bit of a hybrid vigor because the Eysterberg was so tightly bred and on their own at that stage, and the other dogs were loose bred, but they gathered all the attributes from the loosely bred. They carried in their genes all the attributes that they wanted. And then when we brought the Eysterberg in, it just created hybrid vigor, and it put me on the map with Waldor. At that stage I got divorced in 2005. Waldor was bought up by Moser and eventually sold to Australia, where he fathered, according to the people there, about 75% of Australia's Boerboels.
Okay.
And with Avalonia, I've done several matings. At that stage, there were 3 very, very impressive males. It was Farisa Pom, Zonta Boston, and Ultra Gregory. And by today, Ultra Gregory is still the biggest Boerboel ever I've seen in my life. He was by far the biggest than anything.
Bigger than Goliath?
Anything, much, much more. I'll show you a picture just now. I decided to use Zonta Boston. He was also very impressive. It was a big dog. And he's in a lot of pedigrees of nowadays dogs, and I think it's good because he contributed a lot to the breed, and he made some. I think if you go back into some of the Boerboel big breeders, you'll find that Boston had a big input there that made them what they are today. I went for Farisa Pom, which was the second biggest male at that stage, but also the most impressive Eysterberg male that I've ever seen in my life. And he really did well for me. And that's where I started.
Okay. Show us in your farm.
This is whelping pen, one with babies in the middle. This one is whelping on the end, and then we've got a one at the end that's going to be whelping. So we try to keep it like nature, so that we can have strong puppies. We can select, see which are weak, which are strong.
Okay.
And but I am able to stand upright in there and do my thing inside there as well.
Oh, that's why you built it up.
Yeah, so that we can stand
big,
inside.
No, that's,
Yeah, it's about 1.4 by 1.2 meters, and we've got a little ring inside so that they don't kill their babies on lying on them and push them in the corner.
That's nice. Oh. I guess experiences taught you how to build them. So when did you start with these dogs?
1998.
1998.
And then I stopped for a few years. I got divorced back in 2005, stopped for a few years, and then the passion just kept growing and growing, and once I was back on the farm, I started again. I couldn't wait to start again.
Of course, man. Man, I just want to say you have a beautiful place here, Coenraad.
Thank you so much.
It's spectacular, man.
Hard work.
Hard work, man.
And time.
Yeah. I think introduce us to these guys, man.
I think these two youngsters, you'll see now the one dog's got a lot of white on it. Now if you go back to the original breed standard of 83 from the SIBT, white dogs were allowed.
Okay.
They call them piebalds in the breed standard. It's actually wrongly defined. It's actually a skewbald. Now that dog is a skewbald, but it's got some spots on it, which also wasn't the issue back in 1983. So that is Os. He's 7 months old. And we've got Toffee there. She's 9.5 months old.
Hello, Os. Hello, Toffee. Are you saying these guys are 9 and 7 months old?
Yes.
Yo.
So he's in the ugly growth story. So he's looking horrible. She's becoming more of a better looking female.
Just like teenagers.
Yeah, and this typical look in the Avalonia Stud. This is the feminine type of dog that we try to breed.
Okay. Oh, no, it does look like a female. Oh, so he's in his lanky stage now.
He's he's still going into his lanky stage.
Okay.
That fence is 1 meter high, so he's on his shoulders. He's a good 68, maybe 70 centimeters already at 7 months old.
And he's tall, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's falling apart, so don't judge him because he's very young. And my dogs do grow in a very ugly growth stage before they bloom. And usually they become adult at about 3 to 4 years. Even Sian there at the back is full prime at 5 years. All of them are young. The one there at the back on the left, I would put him at about 68, 69 centimeters. And then I've got a
He
female.
looks like a dog that can work, eh?
So he's extremely agile, but he lacks a little bit of a volume for a Boerhond for that matter, but he's still going, he's still young, he's 2 years old.
He's 2 years old.
Yeah, my dog's like they mature at 4 years, so he's still got a way to go. And this brown one here behind the second one on the right, that's a promising male. His name is Eben.
Let's just get a bit closer to you. Oh, that one, that with the mask.
This deep brown one here with a black mark.
Yeah.
It's a very promising male.
Yeah, but he's beautiful. I see his legs are straight.
Oh, yeah, he's very promising. He's also young. He's under 2 years. He's about 18 months.
Oh, Evan is beautiful, man.
And we've got longer out there, and then we've got this one as well. He's 7 months old. He's in a super ugly stadium.
This dude is 7 months old.
Yeah.
Yo.
And this is one of my, also I'm quite proud of her. Her name is Patat.
Patat.
Yeah. Beautiful temperament, nice, athletic female, feminine dog.
Oh, Patat is beautiful, man.
This is a typical look that we are breeding for in females.
Oh, so this is your. Oh.
She's gonna obviously mature.
Yes,
a much more solid dog, but this is that's the most functional type of female that we get that doesn't have birth issues, nurturing issues, health issues, whatever.
So you're not only breeding the dogs to look a certain way, you're also breeding them to function in a certain way.
Yeah. Look, the original breed standard says a Boerboel must be an impressive dog. It must be bigger than a boxer, smaller than a Great Dane. And the three defining factors of a Boerboel is temperament, head, and bone structure. Those three things no other dog should have. So that was depicted in the 83 standard of SIBT.
Okay.
So that's what we're breeding for. But then again, if a dog, it's a mastiff type dog, so they should be able to carry themselves and move effortlessly and fluently. So So that's what we're breeding for. They must be, and they should have stamina. They must be able to run for hours and do their thing.
Oh, that guy is beautiful. You say what his name is?
Yeben.
Yeben. Oh, Yeben is beautiful, man. So tell us, what is a Boerhond?
A Boerhond is the recreation of the 83 SABC breed standard.
Oh, okay.
It's a rebirth.
Oh, these Boerhonds are beautiful.
We focus on male and female dimorphism, obviously temperament, which is one of the key factors, the three that completely discern a Boerboel from another dog. So we're obviously breeding for those three things, but we're also strict with dimorphism because it's a big issue. This kennel is proud to have 100% no C-sections, 100% natural mating. No human intervention at all. Nothing. Zero.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Why is Arnold so big?
Okay, Arnold is extreme stocky dog. So in my breeding program, you'll see a lot of different shapes and sizes, which is not what we aim for. We aim for uniformity, but with all the scattered breed and the mixed breed that's been happening all over the place, we are trying to use all shapes and sizes as was the plan in the beginning. So what we're doing is we're taking all the good attributes of all the different dogs and we're building a uniform according to breed standard type of dog. So this is Doily. She's an extremely strong female. A little bit too chesty to my tasting because we have to keep them feminine. But if you take the front of the dog off and you take the back, she is super feminine at the rear. And she's got the width that we would like to bring. I would like to increase the width a little bit in my kennel. And that's where these two are. That's why they're together as well. They're going to do a mating and then we're going to select females from there to go forward.
Okay, okay.
Arnold is a very stocky dog.
He is.
His head lacks. There's a lot of volume missing in his head. But the chest and bone on the dog will be very beneficial together with that of Doily. So that is the plan.
And all these dogs, are there some that you bought or did you breed all of them?
Currently I have like only 3 dogs that's left from original kennels. The whole lot is Avalonia bred dogs.
Okay, all of these dogs are Avalonia. Yes, just the 3 that are.
Yeah, there's I'll have to go through the kennel and then I'll tell you exactly which ones are. I got dogs from Kopko kennel, which was the highest percentage Eisenbach kennel at the stage when I got them in the country. And I got the whole kennel, I bought the whole kennel in to do the Eisterberg Foundation because to my personal opinion the Eisterberg bloodline is one of the bloodlines that's got the best attributes to recreate the original SABT.
Okay.
But there's a Boerboels incorporated here as well because ABBA acknowledges the Eisterberg bloodlines, which is now SA Mastiff and the Saps dogs. So ABBA incorporates both those ones to go back to how it was before they split. So bringing back together again when it was split about in 2009.
Okay.
And we're doing the things exactly the same as it was done there back in the 80s with the development register, getting the different dogs in and then breeding the super Boerboel that was envisaged by the founders of the breed. But we call them Boerhonde because it's a complete different registry.
Okay.
The pedigrees, however, traceable all the way back to the original founding dogs of the 80s. All of the pedigrees are completely 100% SA Mastiff and SABBS pedigrees combined, obviously because we're incorporating both the registries.
And how old is this female?
She is about 2 years and 3-4 months.
Oh, so does she still have some growing up to do?
Yeah, the females in my kennel do mature much faster, so I would give her another 5-6 months and then she should be.
This thing is a brick, man.
Oh, she's a very stocky female. I've got 2 very stocky females in the kennel. She's one of them.
Oh, and then how do you get? Because this guy, he's so muscular on his forearms. How do you get them to be that muscular? Through the breeding program, of course, but
It's all genetics.
all genetics.
Every trait in this kennel is locked somewhere in a dog's genetic makeup. So we're trying to, with the breeding, and we've got a breeding plan. We've got 4 groups in here with rotational breeding, and it's a closed kennel. I don't accept any outside dogs in my kennel. This kennel is closed. There's nothing coming in from any other breeder whatsoever. And with this, we are creating our Avalonia bloodline to be uniform. And as we go, we're trying to extract. With some puppies, we see things, and then we're supposed to extract some.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's in the blood, or in the genetic makeup of the dogs, and just as the things pops out, because we call it smarty breeding, because it was scatter breeding, but now we're doing line breeding to form a bloodline, and with that you get hybrid vigor somehow when you put a line bred dog to a scatter bred, and then some things pop out, and then we focus on that.
Okay.
Sticky.
And you bring it those.
The ugly one. Now this guy's name is Tiago, which is black chat. You can see
His name is Betchet.
he's actually very friendly. If you go in there, he's super friendly.
Yo, Betchet. Oh, Betchet. Yo.
Nice form, straight legs, nice top line, beautiful rear angulation, mouth form, still young, 2 years old.
So how much brewing does Betchet still have to
Got
do?
another 20% left.
That's a lot for a dog that big.
It will be a nice one, but it will be very impressive. His presentation is also very good for a steel ball. He's got very little pink spot on it, so his presentation is also very good. And that is Sticky. That is a typical old Eysterberg bloodline dog. She looks like, that's what the old Eysterberg dogs look like.
Okay.
She's a super breed. She's bred for proper stuff in the skin. She's ugly as hell. But she's worked breeding capacity in gold 10. So every dog's got a place in the breeding program. So hence you've got very nice ones, and hence you've got some that are frowned upon. But yeah, obviously. But I mean, this kennel open, honest, I'll show you the good, or I'll show you the ugly. But each one of these dogs got a link in the breeding program. And sometimes nature deals you a hand. You only have one dog to work with, and you can't break the link in the chain. And then we use that. But this one specifically is a very, very, very good. She breeds quality.
Okay. And how old are these guys?
Liggery, she's 4 years old. And then we've got this Brindle male. He's the brother of that 7-month-old.
Okay. That's a mate.
It's a litter mate.
Okay.
And
Why is this one so much better than this one?
it's that's what's happening in the breed. You've got the good ones and the bad ones, and the big ones and the small ones.
Oh, but
and
you
the
want
thin
to
ones.
get them to
Uniform. Uniform. Uniformity has never been done. Has never been. They never succeeded to get uniformity in this breed, and that is the mission of Avalonia, to get uniformity. All the dogs should look the same. I'll do that one again. He's 8. Going for 9. He's my oldest dog. Avalonia Stud, he's going 8.5 years old. And trust me, he's still fit and healthy. He's got his scars and his battle marks. He is the first male I bred since when I started breeding again.
Okay.
Okay, there's a lot of confusion in the now. I'm gonna include the original ACIBT Boerboel. I'm gonna include, and it's not the registries, it's the people out there, some of the breeders, some of the public out there. I'm talking about people owning those dogs. The confusion lies there that there should be different types of dogs. That is untrue. The founders of the breed went to the different farms they selected all those stops to build the super Boerboel that they've envisaged. And then they pinned the Boerboel down and said, we're going to take Uncle Pete's dogs that when they got to the farm, they all came from the field running, the one with a hare and one with a baboon and the other one chasing a horse. And then I got to another farm and Uncle Sam's farm, and all the dogs came out of the house, big strong dogs barking, lifting their legs on the tire, lying down and checking you out and doing the protection work. So they went to the farm, select all these types and said, guys, let's work together. Bring your dogs. We envisage a dog that's got all those attributes.
One singular type that
have all those attributes.
Okay.
So it must be working, it must be large and protecting, it must be all those things, and we're going to build it and we get uniformity out of that.
Okay.
And that was the plan, and it was never nipped in the bud to say, okay, stop breeding those different types, because we not breed what we like, we breed what the breed standard says. And the breed standard says this dog and it's one type and it should be uniform.
Oh, okay, so the point of what you're doing here is to get the dogs as uniform as, like, when a person just sees a German Shepherd, they're like, irrespective of who bred it or what bred it, it's the same. But I want to ask you something in terms of that. Also, the color, are you going to be, do you want a specific color, or your dogs come in different colors also?
I'm completely colorblind.
Okay.
So this is, for me, is,
so structure wise,
it is temperament, those three things: temperament, head, and muscular, skeletal structure, the bone. Those things should completely descend the Boerhond for that other dog, for that matter. And that is, and then it must be uniform. All of them. If you walk through my kennel, all the dogs should be the same. It shouldn't be, oh, I like that one because he's got a nice chest, or that one. They all should have all the same. Exactly the same. And that is a challenge.
Okay.
Okay, this is Avalonia Cokie and Avalonia Stud.
This is Avalonia Cokie and Stud.
Stud is the male.
Yeah. Yeah, Stud is.
He's a very correct dog. He's very athletic. He can just do fine.
So, how old are these guys?
Cokie is going for 3 years and Stud is going for 4 years. Maybe going 4.5. I have to check it.
Okay.
So he's fully matured.
Oh, beautiful, man. And how are these guys? Do you, when you breed your dogs, do you breed them like, do you breed them with an intention of, okay, say maybe 2 years old, and you say, okay, this I'm gonna pair it with this female, or is it something that seasonally you do?
No. Because of the breeding program, we have groups and we rotate the males in the groups.
Okay.
But sometimes nature doesn't give you that option, so then we jump. But in the end, there will be a full rotation, so that in 4 generations, all the Avalonia dogs will have all been through all the groups. And then is when uniformity kicks in. Because if you select and if you mate correctly, then uniformity will be on Gen 4. Because it's 4 groups, on Gen 4 it will be unreal. All the dogs will be the same.
Okay.
That's the math behind it, and it's been proven.
Yo.
She's a bit petite. I don't have currently a minimum disqualification on females, because all the dogs in her pedigree are strong. So she will most likely give me 90% proper size dogs.
Oh, look at that head, Coenraad. Yo.
A lot of lip, it's too much lip, they should be drier. But typical Easter bloodline dogs. So we want to move away from that typical iceberg or typical this or typical that, and get that uniformity. I just use the Easterberg because of their good attributes in terms of temperament and bone structure. That's where that comes from. They've got the stronger bone and temperament qualities. Maybe we go down from the bottom.
Hello, Juliet. Hello, Juliet.
You know what? I see what you're talking about in terms of the uniform, because I'm starting to see these dogs this side almost all look the same. I mean, this Goliath and these guys, and they look like the same dogs. Yeah, that one and this one. Yeah, the slight differences in height, but
yeah,
Goliath and this guy, they keep
starting like, to select for a specific look.
Yeah. Oh, so this is the look you're going for.
That is the look. Obviously, there's a lot of faults there still,
yes.
but we're ironing it out. But that is where we're going.
Yeah.
It must be impressive. It's about 70 centimeters. Nice big head. Athletic, strong dog. Good temperament.
He's gonna bite my fingers off.
No, he won't.
Hello. This thing is big.
Yo, let me go in and then you can just compare. The wet spot on the ear is just a little bit of oil for sure.
Now I'm pretty sure the channel is a lot of people who know dogs, so that's nothing.
This is Carlos. This is a nice, one of my better females, and this is the look that we are going for, the build that we are selecting for.
Okay.
Feminine dog, yet strong and Goliath. They're not double muscled or overly muscled, but they're extremely hard muscled and athletic. And they're a proper size.
So you don't breed for very big dogs?
70 centimeter male, 60 centimeter female.
Okay.
That's the breed standard on the Boerhond.
And how strict are you when it comes to your breed standard? Is it because of uniformity you are super strict? Like,
uniformity will still be lenient, but on male and female dimorphism, zero tolerance. On temperament, zero tolerance. And on K gene, zero tolerance. Because these dogs they have no K gene in them. They are complete K gene free dogs. There's only a focus of bettering the breed, making it better, making it uniform and getting it there. Just for example, the Belgian Malinois, which is looking such 100% uniform, is only 3 years older than the original Boerboel.
serious? As a breed?
As a breed, the Belgian Malinois is only 3 years older. And look what they have accomplished. You can't discern the one from the other. They all look the same.
Of course.
And that's what we have to do. I'm gonna say with Abba as a Boerhond, using all these genetic material from different registries, there's a problem, and we need to address a problem. I think we're gonna make that a topic for another day. But there's a way to address it, and there's a way to make it better. Heads for a start is a huge problem in all the registries, especially mine. There's not one single dog here that's got a correct head. It lacks muzzle. There's big faults on the heads, and there's ways to address it and ways to rectify it. And some people will like it, some will not like it, and it works.
So when it comes to breeding dogs and breeding uniform dogs, I think that the biggest challenge would be that, okay, Coenraad likes this type of a dog, but I like this type of a dog. How do you then balance the likes and dislikes of different people to say, okay, because you are still breeding dogs that people want to have?
Yeah, you must remember, and that is also, like you said, where we have zero tolerance, is because we have to get uniformity. So we will really educate all breeders, because we are taking only people that is breeding the bloodline. So it's not single breeders with 2 or 3 dogs. They have to group together to form a breeding group. Yeah. So we will not allow people to have personal taste, because I'm telling you now, this is what we're working for. It's not my personal taste. It's the breed standard taste. So we will educate the people, we will teach them, we will assist them. Abba will all the time be in contact with breeders to assess and see that they adhere to the rules. And that's the only way we're going to get the dogs uniform. And it's not about personal taste. And that's why I also say I'm colorblind, because I can't say I like the reds and I'm going to just breed reds. I will not succeed in getting my dog uniform, because the reds don't throw perfect dogs all the time. You get a good one and a bad one. So I'm selecting for good dogs and continuing there, and whatever color in the end wins, I hope it will be good colors. But it is all about the breed standard and not my personal taste. My personal taste is not supposed to be have any influence on this.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're breeding according to the old SABT standard.
Yes, the envisaged Boerboel, we call it a super Boerboel that was envisaged by SABT that has been dismembered, that they don't breed that dog anymore. So that is what we breed, and that's what we try to form out of. It's a whole redoing of the process. It's starting again as it's done in 1983.
How old is this guy? Man Goliath.
No, he's just coming into maturity, full maturity.
Yeah. So he's quarter to his prime. Not really there yet.
Yeah, he's almost there. He's
Yo.
just the last 6 months he really.
How old is he?
Goliath is now, I must think, last 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh, Goliath.
This is Sweep, he's about 2 years and 3, 4 months. Yeah, no, he's 2 years. 3, 4 months.
2 years. Yeah, I know. I'm starting to see them look the same as we're growing.
So they're all starting to come closer to within breed standard.
Okay.
All closer. Now we've got Stompy here. I mean, she's completely out of standard, but she's a link. She's a specific link in my breeding circle that is allowed to breed with, but offspring from her should be selected to be more closer to breed standard. Otherwise, we'll just run in circles.
Are there dogs that once you breed them, you are like, oh, but I can't correct this? Maybe you have 2 different litters and one litter is going exactly where you wanted the breed standard to go, and one is maybe a lot shy of that. Do you then say, look, I'm not going to use these ones in the breeding program, I'm going to use these ones?
Yeah, obviously you have to. Look, there's 2 ways of doing this, and you're getting results in 2 ways. One is to look at the dog and then pair the dogs, the shortcomings and the strong points of the two, and selecting the better pups out of that.
Okay.
It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's the basics of it. But then you can take 2 ugly dogs and you combine them and you get the most beautiful, awesome, correct dog.
Yeah.
But that is problematic because you don't know what is going to come out of that dog.
Of course.
They look beautiful.
Oh.
And that is usually what's happening out there in the breeders' world as well. They do combos and they get these shooters, we call them shooters. That really makes name all over the place, but they can't recreate themselves.
Yes.
And that's the problem we have. That's why we do the line breed. So there will be ugly dogs, and there will be dogs be frowned upon, but if we do the full circle and we keep strict to the rules and we do our pairings right and we select our puppies right, you will have that wow factor in the full circle of your breeding program with all your dogs, not only one.